And we are back here on the GSMC football podcast. And for the second part of the show, we're now going to preview tomorrow night's game between the Dallas Cowboys and the Detroit Lions. So this game obviously will be taking place in Jerry World. Lions are coming in at 11-4. Cowboys are 10-5. Cowboys have lost their last two games to the Bills and the Dolphins. The Lions obviously clinching the NFC North against the Vikings. They're coming in hot. Their offense is playing really well these last two games. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting game. For me, I don't know why. Like, right now in the spread pool, the line was at 6.5, and I have the Cowboys currently subject to change. The line actually went down to 5.5. Yeah, I don't know what to do with this game. Now, these two teams did play each other last year, and the Cowboys did blow them out. But obviously that was last year. So I wanted to go back to that game. So the Cowboys won 24-6 in that game. Look at the stats. So Jared Goff went 21-26, 228 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I had a QBR of 20.8 and a quarterback rating of 71.2. Jamal Williams was their leading rusher. He had 79 yards rushing. Khalif Raymond was their leading receiver. He had 75 yards receiving. Actually, this was the game AmonRaSt.Brown got hurt in. I remember that because I had him in fantasy last year, and I wish I had him this year. I could have had him, but I ended up taking Garrett Wilson instead. Jared Goff also had 2 fumbles in this game. Jamal Williams had a fumble in this game as well. So, yeah, a game that the Lions kind of want to forget. Dak Prescott in this game went 19-25, 207 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Tony Pollard was their leading rusher. He had 83 yards rushing. Ezekiel Elliott had 2 rushing touchdowns in this game. CeeDee Lamb was their leading receiver, no surprise there. But yeah, and the Lions were 1-5 at that point after the game, and the Cowboys were 5-2. Now, obviously, new year, but I have my concerns. Both defenses, I mean, we saw last week the Cowboys, they gave up 1 touchdown, and, Jason Sanders kicked a bunch of field goals. But, the week before that, the Bills, what they were able to do against them. And, you also had the Seahawks when they played, a couple weeks ago in Jerry World. The Cowboys defense has given up a lot of points, And here with this Lions offense, that's a team that likes to run the football. I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs has been on a tear recently. And you also got David Montgomery, who's run the football well for the Cowboys this year. So, it's definitely going to be it can definitely be a tough game. For some reason, though, I like the Cowboys I think the Cowboys are going to win regardless. But I'm torn on what I want to do with the spread pool, because I feel like this could be a game where, you see the Cowboys, they're on a losing streak. The Lions, they've been playing well. So you would think that many people are going to say, hey, Lions are getting 6.5. I'll take that. Or 5.5, I'll take that. But I don't know. I feel like for me, if the Cowboys defense is able to put pressure on Jared Goff, and with their offense going up against the Lions defense, which really isn't that good, I mean, I don't know. I feel like the Cowboys could definitely cover the spread. If we look at the league rankings of these two teams, so they're both top 10 in passing yards per game. The Cowboys are 5th. The Lions are 6th. The Lions are 3rd in rushing yards per game. The Cowboys are 12th. And they're both top 5 in points per game. The Cowboys are 2nd and the Lions are 5th. Then on the defensive side of the ball, the Cowboys are 5th against the pass. Lions defense is 24th. Lions are 4th against the run. Cowboys are 19th. And then points allowed, Cowboys defense is 5th. And the Lions defense is 24th. Yeah, I mean, listen, this definitely has the potential to, hit the over. What's the over? Actually, what is the over-under for this game? It is 52. I feel like it can. I feel like it could definitely get around there, but then also you got to factor in the, the prime time unders, because the unders hit a lot too. But at least for me, I like the Cowboys to win. It's just the spread is where I'm having a little bit of trouble on making a decision on what I want to do. Now, I might go with the opposite of what most people are going to do, because it seems like it at least in the spread pool, more people are going with the Lions as opposed to the Cowboys. So I might go with the opposite and just say, hey, listen, the Cowboys, yeah, they've been struggling a little bit recently, but they're back at home where they play well at. And the Lions, maybe they're due for, listen, they clinched the division, so maybe they're due for a letdown game here. So I might just do that. But we'll see what happens. I mean, I don't want to root for the Cowboys because obviously, being a Giant fan. But listen, I only have 2 weeks left to win a week in my spread pool. So hopefully, maybe this could be the week. It probably won't be, but again, I might go with the opposite and just take the Cowboys and see what happens. But 6.5 or 5.5 as it is right now, that is a lot of points. So right now, I'm going to take the Cowboys in this game. I think they win by at least a touchdown. Again, I won't be surprised at whatever happens in this game because, listen, the Lions could score points. But I feel like if the Lions are down in this game early, I feel like they're not going to be able to catch up. I feel like they're not going to be able to play from behind. But again, the Cowboys defense too, they've given up a lot of points, in recent weeks. So I don't know. But they are back at home and they're undefeated there. So I expect them to win. It's just a matter of are they going to be able to score. But listen, the Lions have a good running game. Like I said, Jahmyr Gibbs has been tearing it up recently. Of course, you still got David Montgomery. You got to deal with a lot of weapons. Sam Laporta, AmonRaSt.Brown. There's a ton of weapons that the Lions are going to have to, or the Cowboys are going to have to deal with this Lions offense. So, we'll have to see what ends up happening here. But this is a bigger game for the Cowboys. Because, they're trying to keep pace with the Eagles for the division. But then again, the Lions, they still have like an outside chance of maybe getting the 1 seed. But it's not going to happen. No, I think ultimately they're going to end up with the 3 seed. So, which again is fine. You're still hosting a playoff game, but, you're probably going to have to go on the road and you're probably either going to Philly or Dallas if you make it past the first round. So, and right now it's lined up where it's going to be, Jared Goff against Matthew Stafford, which I really hope that's what we get in the first round because that would be unbelievable. If you got Stafford coming back to Detroit, and how the Rams have been playing, I really hope that ends up happening. So, but we'll see. This game it's going to be a test for both teams. Because obviously, they kind of are in the same tier. I look at the Cowboys as the better team. I think the Lions are number 4 when it comes to the top teams in the NFC. I think you obviously got the Niners, the Eagles. Well, I'd put the Cowboys ahead of the Eagles. I would go 49ers, Cowboys, Eagles, and then the Lions. That's really how I would rank them at this moment. The Eagles and the Cowboys are kind of like neck and neck. They each, won a matchup, but the Cowboys could have easily won both. They did leave some points off the board. But yeah, it's just, the 49ers, they have the best defense out of these 4 teams. The Lions, they might have the worst defense. Although you look at the Eagles and how their secondary's been playing as of late. It's I feel like the 49ers, they easily have the best defense. Then after that, then you would probably put the Cowboys, then the Eagles, and then the Lions. I don't know. That's how I would rank them. But, but again, that's just me, So, I don't know. With this game, I think a lot of points are going to be scored here. But, again, just got to wait and see, what ends up happening here. Again, I think they're pretty much, both teams are kind of locked into, the spots that they're in at the moment. Yeah, I mean, we'll just have to see what ends up happening with that. So, but listen, if they're able to put pressure on Jared Goff, they're going to. It's gonna be tough for the Lions. It really is. So, we'll just have to wait and see how that all goes. So, but anyways, let me know what you guys think about this game. What ends up happening with this game here, though. I think again, it all depends on how much pressure the Cowboys defense can generate against Jared Goff. Because again, this offense has really just been humming recently. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I mean, it's either going to be competitive or I think the Cowboys might blow them out. Honestly, but again, the Cowboys defense has not been great. So we'll just have to see. Like I always say, we'll just have to see how it goes. But yeah, it's definitely something to keep an eye on. Because it's a standalone game. There's nothing going on. For that, but so yeah, that's pretty much it though when talking about this game. Let me know what you guys think about this game. And with that being said, when we come back from our second break of the show, we are then going to talk about the early window games for Sunday. We'll preview each of those, and we pretty much got. It's you got the Thursday game tomorrow night's game, and then every other game is being played on Sunday. There's no more Monday night games, and then next week you got 2 Saturday games, and then you have a game on Sunday as well. So that's pretty much the schedule, and then of course on Monday we got the college football games as well. So yeah, that's pretty much what's on tap for the weekend. But yeah, this is what we will preview when we come back from our second break. But once again, I want to remind you guys, as always, to tip or donate and get your comments recognized, make sure to go to the following link. That is streamelements.com/gsmcsportsnetwork./tip. Again, that really helps the show, makes the show more interactive between myself, the host, and you guys, the viewers. Again, that is streamelements.com/gsmcsportsnetwork./tip. And as always, it is displayed on the ticker on the bottom of the show segment down below. So when we come back from our second break of the show, that is what we will preview. So stick around, and we'll be right back here on the GSMC Football Podcast.